lucky to have such great friends, and I really do appreciate that. There's people here from all different groups too, which is really great. We have some old friends over here. The Oldwood. You know it. I don't mean old in age. I mean I've known them for a long time.
I represent that.
Bob and Terry. Bob was
Videotaping or taking pictures?
Bob was
Okay, I'll
Casey's
take pictures.
Principal in elementary school. And she used to bring him ham sandwiches for lunch. We have our friends from Waste Management here. We have some friends from some neighborhood watch groups that I've gotten to know in the community, and some in my district. And Carolyn Miller here from the Dorchester Neighborhood Watch Group, and we have some friends from the Republican clubs, a couple different Republican clubs. Valerie's here from her Neighborhood Watch Group, which is down the street, the Adorn Avenue Neighborhood Watch Group, and Lorraine Folke and Bill and Jane and all the people at Charlie Council and his wife from the Burnt Store Isles. And we have Bob Reichert from Burnt Store Lakes. And Wally's here, Buddy's here, and Susan Swanson from Team Port Charlotte. And Don is here. Don's a business owner in Port Charlotte, and Bill Dryberg's a big person in our community, always giving back to the community. And Roger Peterson, our friend, who's been in all kinds of committees and does all kinds of great things for Team Punta Gorda. And the Michaels are here from another Republican club, and my
Don't
friend.
forget Claire from the.
I'm sorry. I went right by. Claire knows I love
Madam
her.
President.
And my good friend Dick Loftus, a former colleague on the Charlotte County Commission. Boy, do I ever miss him. So it's really nice to have so many people. And Peter Atari, who is a friend of our family, grew up with our kids, and Peter's helping me with my campaign. And Jennifer Loesch is over here. She's helping with the campaign, and so is Claire, and of course Casey. Casey put this all together today, and I really appreciate her help. Barney was here. My husband Barney was here. He had to go to two things, so he had to just leave. But our other two sons are not. Our two sons are not here. One's in Denver and one's in Tallahassee. They and their wives, and of course they don't get to go to anything because they live too far away. And there's a reason, because they can't find jobs in Charlotte County. So that's why their mother is fighting hard to help improve economic development so more people's kids can stay here instead of going elsewhere to find good jobs. And I also really appreciate the help of Doug and Charles from River City Grill, because they were so kind to let us have this here tonight, and they did this for me, and they're good friends too, and I really love them both. They really are so important to this community. They really started all this. We were talking about this last night at Jan Seibach's house. We were talking about what happened in Punta Gorda, what made Punta Gorda turn so great all of a sudden. And I really believe that River City Grill started it. It started it all. And then I think it was the beginning of some really great things, and then Team Punta Gorda got started, and look at what's happened. This, as a man told me last night, a man named Larry from Jan's neighborhood, this is a cool town. It really is. But there's some other things we need to do in other places in Charlotte County that are not so cool. And one of them is right in my district, and that's Parkside. But we're working on it, and Susan Swanson is the president of Parkside, and she has worked. This woman has worked so hard, I can't tell you, doing all kinds of great things for this community. And it's a small area of Port Charlotte. It's 1,100 acres, and they have 4,600 homes. But you know what it looked like before. It was really run down. And Buddy and Susan and Jim Kelly, who's chairman of the housing committee, they have really worked hard over the last 2 years, making things better. They have formed 5 neighborhood watch groups, which is really working well. They have cleaned up a lot of high grass and jump lake conditions are all cleaned up. And if you drive around, you'll notice it really does, it does look better. They have formed a business owners association, and it's been really, it's a great, great project. And I've just been honored to be a part of that. It's very important to me. And I have to fight with the other commissioners sometimes to get support from them for Parkside. And sometimes I win and sometimes I don't win, but I'm not going to give up. I'm going to keep fighting on for that. But anyhow, I'll tell you a quick story. When I first started as a county commissioner in 2006, Governor Bush appointed me. I think he thought I was an okay person, and I think he thought I would do a good job. And I checked things out, and what I found were I found a really, really bloated government. Just so much waste, so much money being spent. They spent every penny. All that tax revenue from all those inflated property values, they just spent every penny. And so we had to make some serious cuts. Commissioner Loftus and I, we really did. We had to fight hard to eliminate some programs that we just couldn't do and didn't need anymore. We reduced our number of employees down from 1,400 to 1,000. We cut the ad valorem budget from 147 million, and it's now down to 102 million. So we've really saved quite a bit of money on ad valorem budget. We've eliminated some projects that were planned that we just can't do it right now. Customer service was terrible. There was no customer service in the county. People were complaining to me all the time. Every business owner I knew said, dealing with the county is just absolutely ridiculous. So we had some other challenges. The bureaucracy was rampant. We had ridiculous rules and regulations, and nothing was being done to encourage economic development. In fact, we were driving businesses away. So here's what I did to try to help the situation. I fought hard to get the rest of the commission to help cut the budget. We reduced some connection fees for water and sewer. CCU is still kind of a mess, really, financially. 2 years ago, I fought to stop a rate increase for CCU, and fortunately, I was successful with that. We started a better way of planning our budget, known as performance-based budgeting, and we're still using that. We instituted a program called Open for Business, which really has helped with customer service. I hope that you've encountered, if you've had any encounters with the county, I hope you've had some better experiences than people were having before. We're currently looking at all of our rules and regulations to see if they're still relevant, and I'm on a one-woman campaign to get rid of ridiculous rules and regulations. And I've taken that message to Washington, D.C. and to the state. I've met with the Lieutenant Governor twice to talk about stuff that the state requires us to do. One of the things I talked to her about was Burnt Store Road and the retention pond situation. What can we do to save money? Use some existing ponds. There's state land right there. Why don't we just use part of that land and put a retention pond in there and make it into a park? It's just state land. She liked that idea. When I went to Washington 3 weeks ago, we met this lady from Army Corps of Engineers, and we had some questions and everything. And then she said, "Is there anything else?" And I said, "Yes. Could you get rid of some of your bureaucracy up here, please? Is there anything you can do about bureaucracy?" We had a good conversation about that. And I mean, of course, I'm not successful yet. But we're trying to find new and cost-efficient ways of doing business. Another thing is, I fought really hard to increase our economic development initiatives, and we have been successful. One big success story is Cheney Brothers. It's a begin, it's a start, it's a big success, and 500 to 600 jobs. Their average salary is going to be $45,000 plus benefits. That is great for Charlotte County. And we have other companies that are interested too, that might be, willing to relocate here. Nice stores and restaurants, and the different theaters. This is the Billy Joel Theater, this is the Charlie Daniels Theater. But that's a great idea and a great project. That's going to take $200 million, but they're out there trying to get the money, and I hope they're successful. Other things we can do there in Murdoch Village, Bruce Lashley wants to put in a downtown area. Maybe take another big retention pond and turn it into a boardwalk around the outside like they have at Disney. Another thing is a European market. God bless you. A European outdoor market. That's another thing. And another piece is at the beginning of Murdoch Village, where kind of where it hits, comes up by 41. We're going to probably do like a research park and have some big companies come in, some good companies. We're looking at things like technology and seniors, medical. We're looking at buying the impact center. That's what our economic development director wants to do. That's a great idea. We have 2.5 million that we got from Cheney Brothers, so that's a chunk of that. I think they want 4 million. So there's some really exciting projects going on, and that's, we're on the road to being a government that is responsive to the people, that is functional and productive. We're not the federal government. We're nothing like the federal government. We do have a balanced budget. Of course, they don't. But since I've been on the commission, I presided in one of the most frugal and financially stable periods that the commission has really ever had. In my background is in business and marketing and healthcare management. I've owned my own business. And I've worked for big corporations like Comcast and Prudential. I have a bachelor's degree in communications and a master's in healthcare administration. I've had a lot of support. I've had a lot of support from Governor Bush. God love him. He's my buddy. I email him, and he likes Barney. He loves Casey and my son Ryan. He just likes our family, I guess. And I don't bug him or anything. But once in a while, if I send him an email, he emails me right back. He calls me Commish. Congratulations, Commish. Happy birthday, Commish. And stuff like that. And he even sent me a campaign contribution. So I'm pretty honored to have his support. So I guess I'm not so bad. But I do have 2 opponents. I don't think that either one of them have the experience, background, education, or the wherewithal to be a commissioner. I just really don't. And because of all the things that I just talked about, I want to stay involved. I want to be a part of it. I don't want to, I can't walk away from this. I have to be there to help pushing things forward. I have to keep fighting with those other commissioners. And I'm doing my best to do what I can. But these guys are out there campaigning hard against me. They're trash talking me. They really are. They're telling people things that are not exactly true. Misinformation, kind of bending the truth a little, spinning the truth. And so I really hope that you will help me, because I think most of you know me pretty well. If you hear something, if you hear somebody that's, for example, somebody said to me, well, I heard that your opponent said that you voted to spend a whole lot of money on the nonprofits. That's not really true. I was one of the people that suggested that we make the cuts, but not everything. We weren't going to cut it off their knees, cut them off at their knees. We cut them down gradually from 1.2 million, and now we're down to 580 million. That's a reasonable 580,000.
This isn't the federal government.
Thank you, Dean. So we have made cuts. The citizens group has done a great job at looking at the applications and making recommendations for what they think we should fund them. But every year it gets a little bit less. But they need help. So that's where I've been with this. That's my position. But I'm not voting to like double the amount we're giving them. That's not true. So if you hear anything, please let me know. And if you think I'm doing a good job, I hope you will give me your vote in August 14th in the primary, and I hope that I'll have the opportunity to continue doing what I love doing for 4 more years, and all I can say is thank you for being here tonight.